my channel. In the last C10 video, you saw I was working on putting the sway bars on and the fiasco that I had with that. But I was able to just go ahead and get the holes and stuff drilled out until we can get adequate weight on the frame to be able to install the sway bar. In today's video, we're going to be working on the brakes. That was one of the things that I mentioned in the last video, that I really was waiting to get the brakes on this thing because I'm ready to set it down and see how the stance is going to be. The brakes, unfortunately, it's going to be a couple of videos, so I'm gonna try to get it done within 2 to 3 videos. But the reason why it's going to be multiple videos is, first of all, I have to make all new brake lines. And sorry if you hear that ding. I have these the rotors right next to me in the seat, and it's turning my airbag off, and of course there's no seatbelt on, so that's why it's making that sound. But like I was saying, I'm going to be making the brake lines. All the brake lines I'm gonna have to make all the way from the front to the rear, and I'm making those myself. I didn't buy the kit. For some reason, the kit, I looked at the kit and there's people that was having issues with the kit, saying that it didn't work, and they end up having to bend the kit and modify the kit. So I figured if I had to pay that much money for the kit and still modify it, then I might as well just make my own. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's why it's going to be about 2 to 3 videos dealing with the brakes. Also, what I said in the build video, I kind of shot myself in the foot. I said that I wanted to put ZL1 brakes on this truck, and in order to do that, it's going to cost a little more money, and it's going to create more time for me to design this. And I didn't know that, or I didn't realize that when I was talking about it, because the 6 piston calipers, first of all, they won't work because I could only get a 12-inch rotor for the C10. Now, and that's when I say I can only get a 12-inch rotor, that's because I want to keep the 5x5 lug pattern, so, or 5x5 bolt pattern. So if I want to change the bolt pattern, yes, I could get it. But if I change the bolt pattern, now I have to buy new rotors, and I have to change the axles out in the rear because the axles are 5x5. So I didn't want to have to change the axles out of the rear end and do all of that just to do that. So what I found that will work is I'm still going to use the ZL1 brake calipers, but I'm going to use the 4-piston calipers, and the 4-piston calipers will work with my rotors. So that's what I'm going to do. And it's not just a simple bolt on. Still, I ordered some brackets for my truck to run the different calipers and stuff, and I paid like $200 for the front and rear brackets, and I'm not going to be able to use those brackets. Those brackets will not work with the spindles. Well, not the spindles, but the calipers for Camaro ZL1s. They have a different spacing between the caliper mounting bolts than the brackets that I have. So basically, I wasted $200 on the caliper brackets. So I'm gonna have to make my own brackets, which I kind of had an idea that I was gonna have to do some of this, which is why I bought the plasma cutter. So I'm probably gonna have to pretty much create a design out of cardboard and recut some brake caliper brackets. So that's why it's gonna be kind of long, and it's gonna be a process of about 3 videos. So just want to kind of let you know the direction that we're going with this. And this is not going to be a super fast project. Just like I said before, this is probably going to take me around a year to complete. And right now I'm about 3 or 4 months into this project, and I think that I accomplished a lot in 3 to 4 months. So I only work on this truck 1 day a week. So with my schedule and my work and everything, I only get a chance to work on this 1 day a week. So I think I've came a long ways working on this thing 1 day a week. So that's why please don't expect this build to go super fast. There's things that can help speed it up. For instance, if I was to sell the Maverick, then that can free up more money for me to be able to purchase a lot of the things that I need ahead of time. So that could speed it up, but still, with me only being able to work on this truck 1 day a week, we can't expect for it to go super fast. So just like I said before, I gave myself 1 year to get this project done. So, and right now we're about 4 months into it, and I think I've made a tremendous amount of progress in those 4 months. So, all right, well, I'll come back to the video once I get up to the shop. Okay, so not sure how well you can hear me. Should have brought my microphone, but I got my rotors here, and in this box I got my bearings to go inside of the rotors, and I don't know if any of this stuff is gonna fit right now, so I'm gonna do a dry fit just to make sure that everything fits up like it's supposed to before I actually pack the rotors with grease and get them installed. So let me go ahead and just take the rotors out. So this is the rotor, and before I take all of them out, I think I'm gonna make sure that they fit with the bearings and everything before I do that. So I think that's what I'll do before I open up the next box. I know the rear should fit because nothing changed back here on the rear. So I can go ahead and get that installed on there. And this is the rear. Like I said, nothing changed back here, so this should be a direct fit. Yeah, so the rear goes on fine, no issues. Just gotta check out the front. So let me dry fit the bearings and make sure that they fit inside of the rotor. And if they do, then we can go ahead and start doing the install. Okay, so I got the back on, in which I said before that I didn't anticipate any issues with the back because nothing changed back there. The front, I got it on dry fit. No grease in it, but I just made sure everything fit. I could not find the spindle nuts. Tried searching for them, tried calling around, couldn't find them. So I ended up, I saved the old ones. So it's a good thing I did save the old ones because I ended up using the old ones and they go on. So it's dry fit, so that's why it's making a sound. But as you can see, it's on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these installed, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get to the caliper mount. But let me see if I have some grease, and let's pat these bearings and get these things installed. All right, so I'm pausing for a minute because I think there should be a seal to go back there. I just can't see that being open, allowing trash and everything to get into the bearing. So I'm gonna research to see if there's a seal that goes in there. The rotor can't go back any further to sit on that ridge right there. So that's why I think a seal has to go in there. I do have the old rotors that I may take a look at and see. And I'm quite sure there's something back there, but I don't want to go ahead and grease them up and get them installed until I figure that out. Just don't want to duplicate work or grease these things up and have to take them off again. All right, so after doing a little bit of research, it appears that there is a seal that goes back there. and I'm getting ready to go to my local auto parts store to see if they actually have the seal. If not, I'm gonna have to order it. It's not very expensive. Matter of fact, shipping is gonna cost more than the seal. But let me go and see if I can, if they actually have this seal, and I'll go ahead and get some. I need to pick up some axle bearing grease also. So I'll go ahead and pick that up, and hopefully they have the seal and we can get this in here today. All right, so these are the old rotors, and you can see they do have a seal in the back. So I just ordered some more, and hopefully they look the same, but clearly they don't look like my new ones. So when the other ones come in, we'll get back to work on it. All right, so the issues that I'm running into with the brakes on the C10 is this is my bracket, and I'm having issues getting the caliper to fit either on the bracket and to go around here, or back to the spindle and go around here. I can put the regular single piston on and it'll probably work just fine. I'm trying to put 4 piston calipers on it, and that's where I'm running into issues. And I think I'm running into the issues because the 12-inch rotor doesn't come out further enough to allow me to get the caliper on there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me set the camera up so you can see the calipers that I have. Okay, so these are the calipers that I'm testing, and these are 2020 Chevrolet Silverado calipers. And what I'm gonna do is I was trying to put these calipers on here, and they won't work at all with the brackets. I can't get it to work at all with the brackets. So if I take the brackets off, these bolts are kind of long. All right, so I got the bracket off. If I take those off, I'm gonna have to bring the camera in to show you. But this hits the spindle, but it doesn't line up with the spindle. So, and even that, there's no brake pads in it, and it still scrubs. So I have to show you on the back side how it looks. See, this is how it looks on the back side. They don't line up. And it's so close to the point to where it needs to be there. You see the 4 pistons in there. And it also has to clear that, which it is clearing it. But there's no way to get any kind of bracket made to go there. So that's the issues that I'm dealing with. All right, so it's been a few days now, and I think the last part of this video, I was trying to figure out how to put the calipers on the C10. So what I'm gonna do now is just explain what I'm about to do with the brakes for the C10, just to get the project moving along. So I initially said I wanted ZL1 calipers on it. That was gonna be, like I said before, the 6 pistons wouldn't work. I was thinking about doing 4 piston rears all around on my C10, but the rear 4 piston calipers are not as big as the front front 4 piston calipers, because the front does all the braking. So I didn't want to take the chance and put in all rears all the way around it, even though there are 4 pistons. So what I end up doing is the caliper, and I didn't really explain this, but the caliper that I was testing is from a 2019-2020 Chevy Silverado. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those calipers. I kind of want it to stick to kind of like a stock caliper, so I can just go to any parts store and get the brake pads for it. With your Wheelwoods and Brembos, you can't really do that. So that's why I want to kind of stick to a stock caliper. So these calipers, they are the 2019-2020 Chevy Silverado caliper. They are 4-piston. So I'm going with 4-piston on the front, and I think it's either a single piston or 2 pistons on the back. So what I just got finished doing, and I probably won't put it in this video, but I'll upload a short with it, is I made some brackets to make these calipers work. So I have they're 3/8 of an inch bracket, basically the same thickness as the adapters or brackets that I bought that don't work. So they should work perfectly fine. I mocked up some cardboard and cut the brackets out, and now I just have to drill the holes in them and then put the brackets on. So I'm heading up to the shop now to see if I can get the holes drilled out on the brackets and see if we can get the calipers mounted. And I'll come back to the video once I get up to the shop. All right, back up to the shop, and I made the brackets. I just got to drill the second set of holes in them. So I want to do a test fit. We're supposed to get some bad weather this weekend, so I doubt I'm gonna be able to come back up here and work on the C10 frame. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get everything that I need to make the brackets at my house, and I'll finish up this video with making the brackets. So that means I have to figure out the back real fast and get ready to cut those at my house. But what I'm gonna do now is just kind of mock up the front and see where I'm gonna have to put the holes at. So I'll come back to the video. All right, so I took the rotor back off just to put the bracket on so I can get some marks. So I have one hole that gotta go there and the other hole that gotta go right there. So, and the other side is symmetrical, so it works the same way, just flip the bracket over. So now let's figure out how I'm gonna do the back brackets. All right, so as you saw, it's snowing outside, so I'm in my garage and I just finished drilling the holes in one of the front caliper brackets. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down with acetone and just go ahead and get it primered and painted while I work on the other one. All right, so both the right and the left front brackets are done. Just sprayed them with primer. Gonna let them dry and then paint them black, and while they're drying, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the rear. All right, so my paint is just not taking, it's just too cold to be painting. So that's what I came up with. So I'm gonna have to sand this down and repaint it when it's warm. And I'll go ahead and start on the rear brackets. All right, so here's the rear bracket. I got it marked about where I need to cut it, and I put some holes there that lines up with the actual caliper. So I'm just gonna cut those off because I can't really see how the caliper is supposed to line up until I get those ears off. So here are the 3 bolts that go on the actual rear end. It goes around it. So I just got to get these ears off and kind of see how it fit, and then I can kind of shape it. Got the cars warming up, get some of the snow off of them. Maverick. All right, so I just looked, and this video is near 20 minutes, if not a little bit over. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I'll do the rear brackets off camera, kind of like I did the front brackets. I'll upload some shorts of me doing it. So You can check out the shorts if you want to see how I did the brackets. So, all right, so I'm gonna get these rear brackets knocked out. As you see, it's snowing outside, so that kind of delayed me going up to the shop to get all this stuff put together. But I'm gonna get the brackets made. Just like I said before, I'll create some shorts with me making the brackets, get that done. And in the next video, I should be putting the brackets on the C10 frame and getting the calipers mounted and trying to get that squared away. Thanks for watching. Click on that subscribe button if you haven't. Click that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.